Back again, this time for game week 13 of Fantasy Focus. Another big week, plenty to break down and some huge decisions incoming. But first we got goal involvements, transfers, clean sheets, captaincy picks, and maybe even a triple captain discussion. So let's get straight into it. So kicking things off, we're going to talk about goal involvement odds. Haaland is back on top of the predicted goal involvement list for game week 13. A massive 75% chance of returning against Leeds at home. He did blank at St James's Park, but honestly, that hasn't dented confidence in him at all. Leeds concede nearly 4 shots on target per game, and if Haaland gets that kind of supply, you're going to expect him to put a couple away. Is anyone tempted to triple captain him this week? There are 2 other clear fixtures where you can target the triple captain on Haaland, as Sunderland at home and West Ham at home. For game week 13, Haaland's predicted 8.6 points against Leeds at home. He's predicted 9.3 for Sunderland at home in game week 15, and then 9.6 in game week 17 against West Ham. Now for me, the 2 best times to triple captain Haaland would be Leeds at home and then West Ham at home. The reason I say that is, out of the 3, including Sunderland, I believe Sunderland are the best side defensively. They've proved that given where they are in the league. And then so it's really a toss-up between Leeds at home or West Ham. Now, my only worry about waiting till West Ham at home in game week 17 would be 1, Haaland could get injured before that game. Now, of course, you can move to somebody else, but nobody else in the league is getting these predicted points. So I definitely want to target Haaland for the triple captain. And then 2 could be that's 5 game weeks away if you include game week 13 in that. So in 5 game weeks time, Nuno could have West Ham a solid team defensively. So potentially that could bring the predicted points down. It could stop Haaland from getting the goals that we're expecting him to right now against the West Ham side we know right now. Whereas right now, we know Leeds they're okay defensively, but are they going to be as strong as West Ham could potentially be in a few weeks' time? Do I believe Nuno can do it with West Ham players like he did with Forest? I'm not so sure. He did have at Forest Milenkovic and Murillo, who are both very good centre-backs, whereas I don't think West Ham have that quality at the back. So I'm leaning towards game week 17 for those reasons. However, in the back of my mind, sometimes it's best to just strike while the iron's hot and go for it whilst the players are in form. He's playing a team that are poor defensively rather than wait for the perfect moment like game week 17. But it's up in the air at the moment. I'm undecided where I'm going to free hit on triple captain, and I think it's going to come down to press conferences, finding out who's available, and then I'll go from there. Next up, we've got Salah, Ekitike and Isak, and they're all between 62 and 65% for goal involvement. But the issue, as always, is who's going to start up top. Ekitike was dropped for Isak in game week 12, and Isak didn't impress where Liverpool ran out losers at home to Nottingham Forest. Honestly, no one can confidently predict who's going to start, so I'd avoid both for now. And if you're free hitting this week, Salah is your pick, maybe alongside Gakpo, but I wouldn't go for any of the forwards. You'll notice there's Brentford players in this list. Thiago's goal versus Brighton pushes him to a 62% chance of returning. He's now returned in 2 games in a row. He'll be playing Burnley at home, so you would expect him to make that 3 in a row. Other players worth noting, Dango, he's at 54% chance of getting a goal or assist against Burnley. And Shada, whilst he's not on the list, he is at 51% chance of getting a goal or assist against Burnley. Now, between Dango and Shada, it really depends on what you can afford. If you want to guarantee the minutes and get the most out of that player, I would go for Shada, because looking back at his stats, he often plays the 90 minutes whilst Dango gets substituted around the 60th, 70th minute. So if you want more chance of getting a return, I'd go with Shada. They both play on the wings, Dango on the right, Shada on the left, but Shada gets the most minutes. He is 1 million more, but that's what you're paying for. Then you've got Foden and Doku. Both of them were rested against Bayer Leverkusen midweek in the Champions League. So that is a positive if you're thinking about bringing in those players for City's good fixture run, or potentially just bringing them in for the free hit. Alright, so let's move on to transfers in for game week 13, and unsurprisingly, Thiago is one of the top transfers in this week. He's been transferred in by over 334,000 managers, and obviously that Burnley fixture for managers is just too good to ignore. Then you've got Eze, over 300,000 managers have brought him in after his hat-trick against Spurs. So obviously you get the hype why managers are bringing him in. He is currently starting for Arsenal, but personally I'd be cautious just because Odegaard is returning. He's just come on against Bayern Munich in the 80th minute and got a run out. So there's competition for that number 10 role now. Role is going to be rotated, no doubt, by Arteta. 2 top players. Which one does Arteta go with? Nobody knows. So again, that's a reason not to pick Eze. He will play games. He will most likely start against Chelsea because Odegaard's not match fit. But over the long run, there will be times when you look at the 3 p.m. kickoff and you look at the team sheets and you notice that Eze is on the bench. So for me, that's personally a reason why I would avoid him. But his upside is there. He will start games. He will play a lot of minutes and he will get returns. Just he won't get the full 90 minutes like most of my players do in my current squad. And I believe that will, in the long run, get you more points. But that's just the way I play it. If you want to go for high risk, high reward, Eze is a great pick. Munoz, another riser. 248,000 managers have brought him in this game week. He scored in game week 12. His price rose to 5.9 million. 2 goals and 3 assists from fullback in 12 games, which is just really impressive. And Palace now have 3 clean sheets in a row. So Munoz has got so many different avenues to get points. He does get DEFCON contributions sometimes. His DEFCON rate is around 7 per 90. He gets goals, he gets assists, and he keeps clean sheets. So you can see why he's now 5.9 million. He is a great pick. To be honest, I should have stuck with him from when I had him from game week 1. I said it that I'm just going to stick with this guy and keep him for the long haul. Doesn't matter what fixtures he plays in, he always manages to pick up points and surprises you. So yeah, mistake there, dropping him. I do have Richards, so I have managed to get clean sheets along the way. It's just Richards doesn't really get involved in the set pieces. He takes a lot of the long throws, and from corners, I haven't really noticed him having any opportunities to score. So probably the reason why he's only 4.5 million or 4.6 million now. However, I will mention Lacroix. He's only 7 or 8 points behind Munoz, and obviously Munoz has scored 2 goals and got 3 assists, whereas Lacroix has only got 2 assists. So the DEFCONs are leading to bonus points along with the clean sheets. So that's allowing Lacroix to keep up with Munoz, even though his attacking returns aren't as good as Munoz. So if you can't get to Munoz at 5.9 million, you do have the opportunity to go for Lacroix, who is still managing to keep pace with Munoz. Then you've got Rodgers. 151,000 managers brought him in after the 2 goals against Leeds. I did look at him on Sunday after that game. I was quite impressed by his goals, very good goals. However, when I looked at his expected goal involvement, it was only 0.08 per 90. And I was just shocked by that, to be honest. Rodgers, number 10 for Villa. Like, how has he not got more than that? I know he had a poor start to the season, but since then, Villa are on a bit of a run. I believe they won 4 games in a row, and he's played a pivotal role in that. How is his expected goal involvement not higher than that? So for me, I want to wait and see how he continues to perform, and if he does, then maybe I'll consider him further down the line. Then finally, the player I want to talk about is O'Reilly. 92,000 managers have brought him in. He was actually rested against Bayer Leverkusen as well, along with Foden and Doku. So to me, that tells me that Pep sees him as his left back of choice. Added to the fact that Aït-Nouri is off to the AFCON in a few weeks' time, yeah, it really means that O'Reilly is the solidified left back for City. And yeah, 5.1 million, I believe he is right now. He could be a great pick to get into that City defence. And they're the second best defence in the league behind Arsenal. So yeah, O'Reilly is a really good pick. Somebody I'll be considering in future weeks. All right, moving on to transfers out. And Gabriel is the most transferred out player this week, along with Semenyo, who is second. Both missed game week 12. Gabriel looks out for a few weeks, whilst Semenyo was said to have a small ankle issue. Now, he then went on to miss West Ham's game, wasn't even on the bench, I'm going to hold him for now, but if he's ruled out again, obviously that free hit chip looks even more tempting because it's just another issue to contend with, along with the other issues I have in terms of the fixtures that my players have. Then João Pedro and Mateta are also being sold. They have tough fixtures. João Pedro's playing Arsenal. Mateta is playing Man United at home. He does actually have a good record against United. He's managed to get 3 goals in his last 3 games against them, but the upside is probably better elsewhere. With Thiago versus Burnley and Haaland versus Leeds, managers are likely hitting the free hit chip and they're probably moving to a 5 midfield setup. So that's probably why Mateta and João Pedro are in this list, because Mateta still has some good games coming up. He's got Burnley in a couple of weeks. He has Man United at home, which I don't think is a difficult fixture. He could easily get a return in that. And he's also got Fulham away, another decent fixture. It's not one to worry about. You definitely play him in that fixture as well. So it's got to be because of the free hit and people are moving him out for 1 game week before he comes back the following week. All right, so let's talk about clean sheets now. Man City topped the clean sheets odds this week. Leeds at the Etihad. And as I've mentioned, City are the second best for expected goals conceded, just over 1 per match, which is behind only Arsenal at 0.52. And when you couple that with the fact that Leeds average just over 1 expected goal per game, the bookies give City a 48% chance of a clean sheet. Then you've got Brentford next at 43% versus Burnley. Burnley generate just 0.71 expected goals per match, which is barely 1 big chance per game. Surprisingly, Brentford have actually managed only 2 clean sheets in 12 game weeks, so this represents a great opportunity to make that 3 against a poor Burnley side. The third option I would go for would be Villa versus Wolves. Obviously, Wolves are struggling at the bottom of the table. They didn't look very offensive versus Palace, and now they play Villa, who are in really good form away from home, so I can't see them scoring. So again, it represents a great opportunity to go for a Villa player if you're free hitting and potentially get a clean sheet there. So after that, you've got Arsenal versus Chelsea, which is obviously going to be a tough game. It's hard to say where that one goes. You'd expect Arsenal to win, but Chelsea are a good side. They could definitely score. And then Liverpool's defense are just struggling. They've just lost 4-1 to PSV. So yeah, I would avoid Liverpool at all costs at the moment, despite them playing West Ham. So no defenders in that. I wouldn't even pick Van Dijk, and I'm regretting picking him already. Then finally, we got the captaincy picks, and there's only one clear winner in this. Haaland leads the predicted points again for game week 13. He posted 1.54 expected goal involvement last week, but still managed to blank. It's hard to imagine that that's going to happen twice, especially at home to Leeds. Then we got Mateta, who's second with 5.8 predicted points. As I mentioned, he does love playing United, 3 in his last 3, but honestly, it just feels like Haaland as captain or Haaland as triple captain is the options. So yeah, no point talking about anybody else, especially players like Raul, Watkins or João Pedro. And that's it for Fantasy Focus Game Week 13. If there's a player you think I missed, drop it in the comments below. If you missed the top picks video, the link will be on the screen somewhere now. Team selection and transfers coming in the next few days, so stay tuned for that one. Thanks so much for watching. Your feedback really helps the channel grow, so again, please let me know in the comments below. And as always, like the video and subscribe so you don't miss the next episode of Fantasy Focus. Green arrows as always. See you in the next one.